Excellent connection. This is great. Hey, this is Perry's Hotter coming at you live, about to draw a page out of my manga, Cold Blooded. Now live on Kickstarter. There's a link in the description. Click on that and check it out and back and support it. I'm currently at 37% funded, and so that's really good. It's only been 5 days since I launched, and so I'm pretty happy about that. Gotta put up my old AirPods because I don't really need them. Yeah. Right before the stream, I was setting up, got me a nice cold water out of the fridge, drinking me a Sprite Zero, although I'm pretty much done with it. Alright, so I got my manga paper, my ruler. Here's a previous page, page 11. And so this is kind of the end of a scene, and this one's going to be the start of a new scene here. Some other pages I got. Thinking about this, I might revise this a little bit. Now I'm looking at it with fresh eyes. I'm thinking, oh, this should look different, I think, but this is I got a different brand of manga paper. It pretty much works the same. It just costs a little bit more, unfortunately. I was just trying it out, just to try it out. So here I got my storyboards. It's meant to be looked at like this. The inside cover is page 1, page 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12 is what we're on. So I'll be looking at this. And so first thing I do is I write down, this is page 12. Another thing I might do, oh shoot. There we go, that's much better. Page 12. So, because this will be on the right, this will be on the left side, the gutter will be over here. One thing I noticed that's different is the lines are a little bit harder to see. The paper is a slightly different color. And the other paper feels more white. This feels more, I don't know, creamy tan color. So I'm just deciding my borders right now. Deciding where the gutter is, that's the easiest. And so you may not can see on here. Oh man, it's reflecting bad. There's these little markings, and that's what I'm kind of going by to help me decide where I want to go. So I think here is good. Yeah, the markings are slightly different too. There's just like little differences as I'm noticing. So because this is the bigger panel, the first panel, I want it to be bigger, so I'm probably gonna close off this other one. It won't run all the way to the edge of the page. You'll see what I mean in a minute. I'm just drawing down to the live area, if you know what that is. The live area, you can't really see it, but there's markings on here. It's like a rectangle, and it's like the live area. It's like where I drew this gutter. That's part of where it is. I'm gonna draw along the live area here to create my border. The live area is where you want all important storytelling, like text, any important artwork. Otherwise it could get cut off in printing, from what I understand. Okay. And so this being the first panel, I make it run off to the edge of the page. So we got a layout going, that's good. Take a swig of my water. If you've been following along with me on my YouTube stories, I've been posting pages, and these are the pages. Now you get to see me draw one before I even bother posting it on my stories on YouTube. I'm just gonna look up some reference. Some reference here in my photos. Here we go. I'm looking for a reference for clouds, and I cannot find any. I don't necessarily have to have reference to draw clouds, but I would like to have reference so I can draw it as well as I can. If you go to my Kickstarter page and look at my updates, on one of my updates I post a story behind one of my pledges. When I reached 30%, I introduced a new pledge called the Newt. Each pledge has like lizard names. So pledge 1 is the gecko, which is for $7 you get a PDF of Cold-Blooded Volume 1. And then the next one, this is before I introduced the Newt, was like, oh shoot, what was it? Maybe the Bearded Dragon, I think. And well, anyway, the next pledge was get the Tankobon and the PDF, and then the next pledge after that is you get the pledge. I mean, you get the Tankobon, the PDF, and the poster of your choice from out of all the covers of the 8 chapters, because each chapter has a cover. And then finally Komodo Dragon, the biggest one, $79. I remember that one because I like that name, Komodo Dragon. PDF, Tankobon, poster of choice, and all 8 single issues as well that make up Cold-Blooded. And if you notice, issues 1 through 4 of Cold-Blooded I say are a special edition, because See, I recently went through a name change for my series, and they have that old name and old logo that I drew myself. And so I didn't print past 4, and I'm not going to. I don't intend to. So the 5 through 8 will be printed with a new name, and if I ever reprint 1 through 4, it's going to be with a new logo. So there's not going to be any more with the old name. And speaking of the old name, when I reached 30%, I introduced a new pledge called the Newt, which gets you a PDF of Cold Blooded, but on top of that, you get the variants of issues 1 through 3 that have the old logo. Yep. And so that's what it gets you. But if you look at my update, it goes through my whole story, and I'll probably tell it here too. But yeah, I have these pictures on my computer that I thought would be good, but it's all of clear. It's of a landscape, but it's all clear skies, so it's not doing me any good at all. Oh, here's some clouds. Sometimes I take pictures of random clouds. Oh, this one's blurry. Oh, there's some good clouds. So, thinking about how I want to do this. Let's see. Okay, so I'm drawing my characters here. One has wings and is flying, and he's carrying the other one. Maybe I should have looked at references of birds. A little bit hard time here. May do that. Not what I meant to do. He's got this long flowing tail. Kind of adjusted it a little bit. Here we go, I got it now. Any other clouds on here? Good examples. show this is draw thicker lines. So when I ink it, I need to draw thicker lines. Okay. Just write in some dialogue here. Actually, let's see. Oh shit. So it's 2 panels down. Let me just check something here. Okay, so that's good. Well, it's still doing it. No, it's not. Okay, so I haven't really been talking. I've been drawing because it's kind of hard to do both at the same time. But where was I at earlier with my story? Behind my pledge, why I changed the name, this journey I went on. When I first came up with the original name, Transformer, I did not spend much time deliberating on it. I just I thought I had to have a name right away, and so I came up with it rather very quickly and hastily. And since then I've seen videos of other creators saying, well, it might be a good idea when you start a series to actually write it a little bit before you come up with a name. So I could have waited. I didn't know that. I know, but I thought I had a name, and I also wanted to print it, and so that's another incentive for me to have a name, get it done, because I often have a get it done attitude, sometimes to a fault, and so I got it done, I got it printed. But I had doubts and fears about the name. Even from its inception, I knew intentionally that, well, it's only one letter away from Transformers, Robots in Disguise, but I thought, well, this series is different enough from that. Well, maybe once people read it, they won't associate it with that. And I was thinking, well, Transformer fits the name because, transformation, a trope commonly used in manga and anime. You got the Sailor Moon transformation, you got Goku's transformations. A character powers up All Might, kind of transforms. He flexes his muscle. Usually I unlock more abilities. Luffy has his gears, and so forth. Asta has black form. Aaron turns into a Titan. All these different protagonists have these power-ups in which they transform or gain some kind of newfound level of power, and so I thought it would fit. But a couple things wrong with my logic is I thought people would, well, maybe if they read it, they dissociate it, but a lot of people, they don't read it, they just look at it. And it took, I enrolled in the Comics Launch course, right? The Comics Launch course helps creators market their stuff and get it out there, and help them launch on Kickstarter. And the guy who runs it is named Tyler James, and Comics Launch is great. I highly recommend it. I've learned a whole lot. I really hate marketing. I still hate marketing, but it's a necessary evil I have to do. But I can't wait till the day I don't have to worry about it. I could just pay someone to do that crap for me. But until then, that's what it takes. I have to do it myself, so I'll do it. And shoot, where's my photos? I'm looking for a reference while I'm talking, and it's not working out very well. And so there was something in the, I forget at what point, but in the Comics Launch course, it was like I have to pitch my log line. If you ever have a series, right? People ask you, well, what's it about? And generally, when they ask that, you want to have something, you want to have an answer ready, and be able to tell what your series is about in 1 to 2 sentences. And this is your log line or sales pitch. And that's another thing I learned prior to Comics Launch, and even after I joined, because I was still going to some cons and people asked me what it was about, and I thought I got it down pretty well. But there was an exercise in the Comics Launch course where it was like pitch 3 different log lines, and so I did on Twitter. And Tyler James, he likes Twitter. He uses it a lot, and I tagged him and asked him what he thought, and he gave me a really good log line, and I use it now. And I'm starting to get to the point where I memorize it. I haven't used it yet at any cons because I kind of stopped going to cons for a time being. But when I go, I can't wait to tell him this. But holding out hope after his father's disappearance 5 years ago, Rim Snart discovers latent reptilian abilities brought out by a shadowy figure determined to end his life. Dude, isn't that great? That's like, man, that's like wonderful. And I was happy. But another thing he brought up was the Transformer. He said it reminds me of certain robots in disguise, and I was like, oh, I knew it. So after talking to him and Twitter DMs, it just kind of confirmed my fears and doubts about it. But I was glad, because now it's like, well, I need to change the name. And so I started bouncing ideas off of lots of people. Long story short, someone pitched Cold-Blooded, and I was like, oh, this name, this is perfect. This fits. It fits in more ways than one. That if this series ever goes on and goes up big, you'll find out. But and so that's the name I settled on, and I didn't just settle on it. It resonated with me. That's the one I picked, and so I drew a little detail there. That's what I went with, and trying to think here. And I had my friend make a logo for me. The logo was great. And once he made the logo and I dropped it in the cover, it was like perfect. It's like everything came together, you know. Everything came together, and it's like, because before, you know, I had the old name Transformer, which wasn't a good name, and the logo I drew myself and inserted in. But here, my friend is more leaning towards graphic design, and so he's made logos. He's done freelance, made logos or other stuff for people of that caliber, and he made this, and it's just so professional, and it brought like a different, it like elevated my series. I felt like. And I felt like things are really coming together. Like it's finally here. It's finally getting somewhere. And you know, I can't wait. But now I've like, because I went all gung ho from the beginning. I self-published all these copies with this old name that is now void. Is no longer valid. It's null. So what do I do with them? Do I throw them away? And it's like, I don't want to throw them away. I still want to sell them if I can. And so that's why I sell them as special edition in the Komodo Dragon. But it doesn't stop there. I also had copies made for the variants. And so that's why at 30% I introduced the pledge Newt. And when you pay $10, that's a $10 pledge, you get a PDF Cold-Blooded as well as the 3 variants. And maybe if I reach a certain, maybe 50%, there may be physical copies. But I'm almost halfway there at 37%. So like I said at the beginning of the stream, in case you missed it, the link is in the description to Cold-Blooded. Alright, so I'm gonna finish this panel even if it kills me. I'm just joking, but you know what I mean. Anyway, let's look through these photos. Yeah, I'll just kind of got these clouds here. This is going to be an interesting perspective. This is the horizon one. Let's see. I'm gonna go ahead and draw my characters in here before I draw any more of the background, so I can kind of give a feel for the perspective. Because it's definitely going to be a little difficult. it's just, especially getting these wings and perspective. Perspective. I feel like I'm saying it weird. It's especially hard. And some of these angles are difficult. Trying to show the shadow cast from where they're flying. They're about to land in this shot. Just draw some of this vegetation. Alright, well, it's not photorealistic, but this background's getting somewhere. So it's looking like West Texas for the most part. Well, I think that's it for me for today. This has been me drawing page 12 out of chapter 8 for Cold Blooded. If you'd like to see more of me drawing this when I live stream, be sure to subscribe and click the notification bell and you'll be notified when I live stream or upload a new video. And be sure to follow me and back me on Kickstarter. If you enjoy my content, if you've read Cold Blooded, if you haven't read Cold Blooded, it's on Webtoon and Tapas. There's not currently a link in the description, but I might put one there later. But if you go to my Kickstarter page, there are links on the Kickstarter page to those. And you can try it before you buy it. And even if you're from another country, you can back it. It's just shipping will cost more. You'll be charged $15 more plus whatever the pledge is by the end of the campaign if it's successful. And so you can totally get it. I know how I have a lot of viewers from other countries, and so